Hi, this is Destiny from Desfix and welcome back to another video in the blog app using Django and React JS. In this one, we'll get started working with the category list API view and also the post category list API view. That is what we'll be doing. Hopefully you will enjoy the video and learn something new. So let's get started. You begin by opening up your code editor and all the way at views PY, scroll all the way to the bottom. And you want to create a new class here called category list API view. And this should inherit from generics dot list API view. Okay. And the serializer class that we want to interact with over here should be the category serializer. Okay. And also the permission classes for this one should be allow any. Okay. And after this, we can go ahead and override the default get query set, then pass in our own custom code in there. So the code I want to pass in is pretty much return API models dot category dot objects dot all. So whenever we call or make a call to this endpoint over here, we will fetch all the categories that exist in our backend or in the database. Okay. So that's pretty much it for the first one. Now the next one will be class post category list API view, And this one should inherit from generics dot list API view. And we need to pass in the serializer class for this one. It should be the same. Okay, I think instead of passing in the category serializer view, I think the best thing to do for this one is to pass in the post serializer. So API serializer dot post serializer, or I will explain this after I'm done typing this out. So the permission classes should be allow any. And as usual, let's override the default get query set. Then we'll pass in self in there. And let's begin by getting category slug. This should be self dot keyword argument. And over here, it needs to be called category slug. And now let's fetch that particular category based on this category slug that we created. But before that, let's confirm that the category has a slug field. Yup, it does. So over here, we then need to say category should be equal to API models dot category dot objects dot get, where slug is equal to the category slug. So this was supposed to be named category slug, okay? So then this one over here will be category slug. I hope this makes sense. Then let's immediately return API models, or you could even just say posts should be equal to API models dot posts dot objects dot filter, where category that was assigned to those posts are equal to the category that we have fetched at the top. And also the status of the post should be active. Then you could go ahead and return posts. So you could either return posts like this, or you could just remove all this post keyword here and immediately return it as you're typing. This will still work. Okay, this will still work like this. So after you've done that, that's pretty much it. It's very simple, very easy. Now let's see what we have. Open up the URLs for the API app, and I want you to configure a new URL. Just down here, I will create a post endpoint, and I'm gonna create a new path, and this should have posts slash category slash lists slash. And then I'll have API views dot category list API view dot as view. So now we have pretty much configured the URL over here. I believe this should be self-explanatory. We pretty much added a URL route over here, then called in the category or the view that is related to this URL and passed in as view because it's a class-based view. You could go ahead and duplicate this if you want and change this to post category list API view. And this one should be posts slash category slash posts with an S slash Then in here, we need to put in the category underscore slug because it's a parameter and it's needed. If you don't put it in, there will be an issue. You can see that over here, the URL is expecting a category slug to be passed in as a parameter. So do make sure to pass that in, okay? Now, after all this, let's test this out to see what we have. If you come over to API v1, just API v1 with a slash. Now you can see we have post list and post category. But you can clearly see that over here in the URLs, category slug is here, right? But why isn't it showing up over here? That is because you need to stop your server, rerun it to sync everything together. So when you rerun now, here you go. I also don't want to keep displaying endpoints like this. So maybe in the next tutorial, I'll just work with the Django API documentation. But for now, let's test this out. If we come over to this endpoint here, you can see this is working, but we don't have anything in the array, so it's empty. So let's try adding a new category here so that you can see what we have. And you can see this name here looks weird. I'll also show you guys how to change that. So let's say I want to add health and do the same thing for slug, but with a lowercase h, save. Now, if you get back here and reload, can you see? Now we have one category called health. You could even add another one. Let's say I want to add finance. Now, can you see? We have two categories named finance. Now, the same thing goes for the posts slash then the slug finance. You should see an empty array because we don't have any posts yet for that. So if you want to create a new post real quick, let's say user, destiny, profile, destiny, category, finance, title, sum, title, and status active, slug, sum, title. I'll show you guys how to fix this later. Then save. You can now see that over here we are returning one post. Now, can you see that when it comes to user, it's expanded this and showed all the information that the user model has. Same for profile, same for category. Now, this is because in the serializer, for the post serializer, which is this one here, we are adding this depth. So had it been this depth is 0, let's see. So depth is 0. If you get back here and reload, now can you see? It's not showing anything for the user. So there is no nested data in there in the array. It just shows the ID 1, 1, 2, which doesn't make sense. So you could go ahead and make the depth 1. You could even go as deep as 3. I hope this makes sense. So there you go. That is pretty much it. These two are now working well as expected. In the next one, we'll get started working with a post list and post detail. Then we'll get started working with a like, comment, bookmark. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and learned something new. If there is something that you don't understand, please drop it in the question and answer section and I'll be more than happy to help you. Also, consider checking out some of the courses in the description below, as one of them will help you become a better Python, Django, and React JS developer. If you're also looking to build websites faster with professional and modern components, I recommend you check out nestblog.app. We've got a lot of components there, ranging from Tailwind CSS, Bootstrap, Boomer, Materialize, and even pure CSS to help streamline your development process. I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, mad love. Peace out.